This video is brought to you by NordVPN. Check the link in the video description to get 70% off. It's the 21st of July, which can only mean one thing. The OnePlus Nord is here. This is our hands-on content, so stay tuned for the full review coming up later. Here is all you need to know about the OnePlus Nord and some hands-on time with the device. But before that, we need to unbox the thing. After taking it out of the box, which is always fun, we have a OnePlus Nord media kit, which has a couple of extra bits that you don't get when you purchase the device. In here we have 3 different cases: sandstone, cyan and clear, and then we have the retail box. Up front is the Nord itself. Here's the peel. Inside the smaller black box we find the user's manual, some cool stickers and a clear TPU case with a funky pattern on it. Next up is the Warp Charge 30T 30-watt charging brick and the accompanying iconic red USB-C to A charging cable. The phone is pretty shiny and definitely stands out in this blue marble colour. Thankfully there's still a mute toggle slider because that's a OnePlus staple at this point. Oh look, already covered in fingerprints. Nice. Setting it up is pretty standard and painless. I'll get back to you in a few minutes. I've been playing with the phone for an hour or so now and I'm really taking to this blue marble colour. It's incredibly bright and of course OnePlus has included its clear PVC case to complement and show off the colour if anything. There is another colour called Grey Onyx, which is less in your face if you're into that kind of thing. The phone features Gorilla Glass 5 on both front and back and is surrounded by this shiny plastic rail complete with the signature OnePlus mute toggle switch. There is no headphone port on this device, which is not really surprising in 2020, and there's no adapter in the box either, but the USB-C 2.0 port at the bottom does support Warp Charge 30T. There's a dual punch hole on the front in the top left corner, and around the back there are 4 cameras in a module, again at the top left. For security we have got face unlock using the front cameras as well as an in-display fingerprint scanner. Oh, and there's even a dual SIM card slot at the bottom. Before getting into the real specs of the device, here is a quick message from today's sponsor. Staying safe online is a bigger concern now than ever before. NordVPN protects your privacy and lets you browse the internet from anywhere in the world. Having trouble streaming content that's blocked in your region? Worried about bad actors on public Wi-Fi? Check out the link in the video description to get up to 70% off. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Right, spec time. There's a lot to cover here, so pay attention. The Nord comes with a Snapdragon 765G 5G processor with an Adreno 620 GPU. There are 2 versions of RAM and storage. You can either have 8GB of RAM with 128GB of storage, or you can go bonkers with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. There's a 4115 mAh battery with Warp Charge 30T, so that's 30-watt fast charging. The display is a 6.44 inch 2400 by 1080 Fluid AMOLED 90Hz display with an aspect ratio of 20:9 and a pixel density figure of 408 ppi. It supports sRGB and DisplayP3 color and is again coated in Gorilla Glass 5. As for the cameras, there are a whopping 6 in total. Up front we've got a 32 megapixel Sony IMX616 main sensor and a secondary 8 megapixel ultrawide camera with a larger 105-degree field of view. Front facing video can be captured at up to Ultra HD 60 fps. Flipping over to the rear, there's a Sony IMX586 48 megapixel main sensor with OIS, an 8 megapixel ultrawide with larger 119-degree field of view, a 2 megapixel macro camera and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. The video here is Ultra HD up to 30 fps, Full HD up to 60 and Super Slow-Mo at up to 240 fps in the Full HD resolution. There's also a funky cine mode recording option, which allows you to shoot in cinematic wide aspect ratios at Ultra HD. Along with this, there's a myriad of modes including Ultra Shot HDR, Nightscape, Super Macro, Portrait, and so on. The device looks and feels very OnePlus-y, which is probably due to the Oxygen OS 10.5 software that's running on this thing. It's running atop Android 10, and if I had to sum it up, it's like holding a baby OnePlus. The device itself feels well made and tight, it looks sleek and modern, and the haptics feel surprisingly crisp. It's also a pretty phone in my opinion, and that blue marble colour is wow. As of recording, we haven't got specific price information other than we know it will be less than $500 US equivalent. We know that it will launch across Asia and Europe, including the UK, but there's no sign of a United States launch at present. We're going to run our entire suite of tests on this thing, really do push it to the limits and see what it's capable of. And if you want to see our full review, which is coming up fairly shortly, then please do hit subscribe and hit the bell to never miss a video like this one. Thank you all so much for watching our coverage of the OnePlus Nord. I will leave links to everything in the video description, as well as the link to NordVPN. Please do like and comment letting us know what you think about the OnePlus Nord in the comments. We'd be excited to hear about that. Anyway, I've been Ryan Thomas with Android Authority, and I'll see you later.